For decades, the middle class followed a simple formula: study hard, get a stable job, buy a home, save consistently, and life would slowly but surely move upward. Inflation quietly breaks this formula, not with one big shock, but with thousands of small cuts that almost no one notices at first. Prices rise slowly, salaries lag quietly, and before you realize what happened, the future you were working toward no longer exists in the same form. At first, inflation feels harmless. A few extra dollars on groceries, a slightly higher electricity bill, fuel prices jump for a few weeks and then settle. But while these increases feel small, they compound every single month. The middle class lives on fixed expectations: fixed rent plans, fixed EMI schedules, fixed school budgets. Inflation doesn't care about your plans. It steadily eats into them. The biggest illusion inflation creates is that you're earning more. You get a raise, maybe 5 or 10%, and it feels like progress. But if prices rise faster than your income, you are quietly moving backward while believing you're going forward. Your purchasing power shrinks even when your salary grows. This is how inflation redefines success without telling you. Housing is one of the first areas where the middle class feels the permanent shift. House prices rise much faster than income. What your parents could afford on one salary now needs 2 incomes, longer loan tenures, and higher risk. Rent grows faster than wages. The idea of settling down early slowly disappears. Homeownership turns from a milestone into a distant target that keeps moving further away the closer you think you are. Education faces the same pressure. School fees, coaching classes, college costs, everything rises faster than family income. Parents who once planned comfortably for their children's future now juggle loans, side incomes, and constant financial anxiety. Education slowly shifts from a ladder of opportunity into a long-term financial liability. Healthcare is another silent shock. Insurance premiums rise. Hospital bills explode. A single medical emergency can erase years of savings. Health turns from a personal concern into a long-term financial threat. The middle class begins to fear illness not only for physical reasons, but because it can collapse their entire financial structure. Savings, once the pride of the middle class, quietly lose their strength. Money sitting in a bank account feels safe, but inflation eats its value every year. 10 years later, that same amount buys far less than it once did. People save their whole lives and still discover that their savings cannot support the retirement they imagined. What once felt secure becomes fragile. Debt grows heavier under inflation as well. EMIs stay fixed, but daily living costs rise. The same loan that once felt manageable starts to feel suffocating. Credit cards become survival tools instead of convenience tools. Loans meant for growth turn into tools for survival. Slowly, the middle class becomes more dependent on borrowing just to maintain their lifestyle. Lifestyle itself changes permanently. Vacations become shorter. Eating out becomes less frequent. Shopping shifts from choice to calculation. The small comforts that once felt normal slowly turn into luxuries. People don't downgrade overnight. They adjust quietly, step by step, lowering expectations without realizing they are doing it. Perhaps the most dangerous impact of inflation is psychological. The middle class grows up believing that discipline and hard work guarantee stability. Inflation breaks this belief. People work harder than ever, yet feel poorer each year. This creates frustration, burnout, and silent anger. Many start questioning a system where effort no longer guarantees security. Time itself becomes more expensive. Earlier generations could take career risks, change paths, or take breaks. Today, gaps feel dangerous. Every month without income feels like falling behind in a race where the finish line keeps moving. The pressure to keep earning never stops because expenses never stop rising. Retirement, once seen as rest after decades of work, is now filled with uncertainty. Pension systems weaken, savings lose value, medical costs rise faster than everything else. The middle class no longer dreams of retirement, they fear it. The fear is not about boredom, it is about survival. Inflation also reshapes relationships. Couples delay marriage. Families delay having children. People stay in jobs they hate because financial risk feels too dangerous. Dreams shrink, not because ambition dies, but because risk becomes unaffordable. Over time, inflation quietly rewires how the middle class defines success. Success is no longer about growth, it becomes survival. Staying afloat becomes the new achievement. Stability becomes the new luxury. What makes inflation so powerful is not how fast it moves, but how silently it works. There is no single breaking point. There is no single collapse. Just a slow, steady transformation that changes how people spend, save, dream, marry, raise children, and grow old. By the time most people realize what inflation has done, the transformation is already complete. The middle class that once aimed for upward mobility now focuses on defensive living, protecting what little can be protected, avoiding financial shocks, hoping nothing goes wrong. Inflation does not just raise prices, it permanently reshapes the life path of the middle class. It changes what is possible, what is risky, and what feels safe. And once that shift happens, life never returns to the way it used to be. This is how inflation changes the middle class forever.